What about territorial agreements? Now, we've talked about prices, but what about territorial? Now, again, if you talk about this from a horizontal perspective, that's the competitors saying, hey, we're going to agree that I get the east side, He-Man gets the west side. Okay? We're going to agree to that. Can you do that? No. Vertical agreements is going to be between the manufacturers. Same thing. You see the difference here? See how it works? Now, concerted activities. Agreements or conduct by competitors that have anti-competitive effects. Certainly you can't have that. You want the market to be competitive because you want to get the best price for the consumers. And so as a result, we have laws that make them be competitive. Wrap your mind around that. International cases. What about cartels? Antitrust division. 90% of criminal fines imposed relate to international cartels since 1997. Most large defendants are foreign-based. Alright, folks, keep in mind that while we have laws in the United States, those laws don't always apply overseas. Okay? Keep that in mind. So next time you're on Craigslist and someone wants you to wire them money to Great Britain or Africa or Asia or something like that, just be careful. Okay? Just be careful. Now what about the Clayton Act? Outlawed practices substantially lessen competition and creates monopoly. Again, folks, this is what we're talking about. Whenever you talk about these antitrust laws, what they're trying to do is to avoid the retailers and manufacturers them getting together, making more money at the expense of the consumer. Right? We don't want monopolies out there. We don't want monopolies out there because once you have a monopoly on something, the price just goes way up. Why? Because there's no one in the market that's competing against you. If there's no one in the market competing against you, then, again, the price goes up. But if He-Man and Leonardo have to argue about $3.50 gas, if he wants more business, he'll charge $3.49, then he'll charge $3.48, and they'll go down as low as they possibly can. Okay? Also, the Clayton Act helped to ease the burden of proof. Okay? Justice Department can do court injunctions. Right? Triple damages, costs, and fees. Again, we're seeing more of this. What about price discrimination? What we're looking at is quality purchase advances, sale of goods, predatory pricing. Right? All of these things to try to throw people out of the market and thus create a larger market share. What about exceptions to this? Good faith transactions. Folks, believe it or not, sometimes people will lower their costs to get something else. I know that as an attorney, I'll lower my costs from time to time to bring in a good client. If I'm going to bring in a client that wants a divorce but has a large manufacturing firm that he owns, then certainly, hey, I might give him a break on his divorce, do good work for him in hopes that I can get some of the bigger dollars as a result of his manufacturing firm. Pricing due to changing conditions. All right? I mean, if prices go down, you can lower your prices. Cost justification. You can increase your price because of the costs associated to you. Good faith meeting of competition. If you're doing things in good faith, you're fine. Federal Trade Commission Act, unfair competition enforcement. Conduct. Does the conduct injure customers? Okay. Does it offend public policy? Is the conduct oppressive, immoral, unscrupulous, unethical? Okay. Primary function equals the prevention of illegal business practices. And folks, that's what I'm trying to get at with these particular acts. In theory, you want a free market. But unfortunately, to have a fair free market, we have to have regulation. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of major regulation, but I can appreciate the fact that it is needed because there are so many people out there that will try to take advantage of the customer that, granted, they may not be in business for long, but the harm that they can cause while they're there creates the necessity to have these types of regulations. So keep that in mind. Granted, free market is a wonderful thing. Regulation, I'm afraid, is a necessity.